Late childhood is a period of skill development and where developmental tasks begin to start. Developmental tasks includes physical development, cognitive development, and socio-emotional development. Physical development of an intermediate schoolers. For early puberty, girls as much as 2 years ahead of boys in terms of physical maturity. Puberty changes start when the brain triggers the production of sex hormones. Changes during puberty. For girls, they will start gaining body weight around the hips to have a curvier body shape. Will start developing breasts. Will grow pubic hair and have hair under the armpits. Will start having their menstrual cycle. Will have acne on their faces, even do wash their faces regularly. Will sweat more as the glands have expanded. The vagina gets longer. The uterus gets bigger. The vulva starts and increases a bit. While for boys, develop broad shoulder and more muscular physique, become heavier and taller, voice will start to crack, might have more erection, develop facial, body, and pubic hair. Subtle increase in testicle in size, penis and scrotum starts to grow, will have acne on their faces even do wash their faces regularly. Will sweat more as the glands have expanded. Semen may be released during he is awake or even during a sleep. Voice changes. Cognitive development of intermediate schoolers. Initial cognitive characteristics. Their capability to use logic and reasoning gives them chances to think about what they want. They now become very interested in talking about their future or even their potential careers. They develop special interests in collections, hobbies, and sports. They are even capable of understanding concepts without having a direct hands-on experiences. Reading development. Children is marked by a wide application of word attack. They are no longer into fairy tales and magic type of stories, but are more interested in longer and more complex reading materials. In choosing books appropriate to their age, consider the following. Consider who the child is, his personality traits, and personal preferences when choosing a book. Make a selection with the child in mind. Choose an informational books in an area of a specific interest. Choose books that encourage discussion and insight building. Attention. Older children have longer and more flexible attention span compared to younger children. Their span of attention is dependent on how much is required by the given task. In terms of schoolwork, older children can concentrate and focus more long period of hours, especially if they are highly interested in what they are doing. Creativity. Children at this stage are open to exploring new things. Creativity of children is encouraged when the activities encourage different responses from each child, celebrate uniqueness, break stereotypes, value process over product, reduce stress and anxiety, minimize competition and external reward, support to share ideas, not only with the teacher, parents, but also with other children. Socio-emotional development of the intermediate schoolers. Understanding self-competence, self-identity, and self-concept. One of the most widely recognized characteristics of this period of development is the acquisition of feeling of self-competence. The key components of the self-competence are self-esteem, self-determination, self-competence, and successful coping. This involves self-perception of personal worth and efficacy, an important component of healthy development of intermediate schoolers. During late childhood, children can now describe themselves with internal and psychological characteristics and traits. They most likely employ more social comparison, distinguishing themselves from others. Now let us proceed to adolescence. The period of adolescence begins with biological changes and ends with the rule and work of adult life. Physical development of high school learners. Growth spurt, gradual increase in body size and weight, with hormones flowing course during adolescence causing an acceleration. Body changes include change in body dimension. Sexual maturation, the triggering by hormones of the hypothalamus glands on hormones of the pituitary glands signal the entire process of sexual maturation. Physical ability, they are more agile and coordinated, making it easier to do things like type on a keyboard or build a complex project. Cognitive development of high school learners. Brain development, acquisition of new skills due to brain increasing weight and refining synaptic connections. Show an increasing ability to reason, make educated guesses, and sort fact from fiction. Start thinking more abstractly, comparing what is to what could be. Think about and come up with ways to deal with hypothetical situations. Former operational stage refers to the ability to perform mental operation with abstract and intangible concepts such as justice or poverty. Former operational thinking consists in proportional thinking, making assertion and stating what may be possible in things not seen by the eyes. Relativistic thinking, making an opinion in facts involving one's own bias. Real versus possible, examining situations and exploring the possible in terms of situations or solutions. Cognitive development of boys and girls. Adolescent girls tend to feel more confident on their social skills than boys. Adolescent boys tend to be confident about their athletic and math skills. Socio-emotional development of high school learners. Self-understanding. They begin to acquire a reflective idea of oneself in terms of their past and future. This development requires self-thought along generalized ideas such as thinking that one is bright, flexible, and intelligent. Developing self-esteem. Appreciation of oneself or self-love. Within the family domain, boys tend to prefer activity and anatomy of children, while girls prefer family relationship, connection, and openness. Friendship and intimacy. They tend to interact with others to be socially involved, where they found friendship, acquaintances, companions, and intimates. Moral development. Adolescent is able to understand and conform to social convention, engage in proper behavior to please others, and follow rules of society. Self-identity. A feeling of a teenager where she can be who she is. This is essential when it comes to intimacy, asserting yourself, and exercising good boundaries with your family, friends, and partner. Promoting one's identity. Boast confidence about self-competence and ability to learn. Opportunity to try out rules. Support from parents. Development of guilt. This can threaten self-image but at the same time make adolescents aware of their own possible doings.